What is popping, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube.com? It's me, Fwafy, back with another crazy top 10 video. Today, we're going to be talking about the wild and wonderful world of raccoons. So, I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get right into it. Roll it!
Number 10.
Raccoons were invented in 2008 by profound dog toy maker Dr. Geronimo Giabaldi IV II. Not to be confused with Geronimon, the protector of Earth's Daikaiju. Dr. Giabaldi was a highly esteemed member of his small town where they invented soy sauce. However, there was a side of him he rarely let show. He enjoyed putting masks on small critters and sending them out to find treasures and retrieve fruits. It got to a point where he consumed the majority of small masks on the market. When there were no more masks left, he had to take drastic measures. He sewed a mask into the skin of a small zebra and let it breed. Thus, raccoons were born.
Number 9.
The first few generations of raccoons were not good at being raccoons. They were so bad, in fact, that nobody even shooed them away from their fruits and trinkets because they didn't realize that the raccoons were even trying to snatch them. The public was so mad at how bad raccoons were being at raccoons that they started giving away their fruits and trinkets. The raccoons became so greedy that they started expecting these gifts. Once the public stopped supplying them, the raccoons revolted against the villagers who fed them. They bit and snarled at the villagers until they all ran off and died of SARS, not at all related to the raccoon bites. This is actually where the term, "don't bite the hand that feeds you," stems from.
Number 8.
Did you know that the Sly Cooper series is actually based off of a true story? The Thievius Raccoonus from the series was written on accident by a raccoon without ears. He was so bored of not hearing things that he began writing a book about thieves since they're supposed to be quiet. This made it easier for him to write from his perspective. However, since raccoons can't comprehend language or complex story elements, he hired J.K. Rowling to write the book and the characters within.
Number 7.
So, raccoons are known to hang around neighborhoods and the Taliban, but did you know they didn't always live in such environments? After Dr. Giabaldi let the raccoons loose, they ventured far and wide. They traveled to the salt fields of eastern Michigan. Here, they quickly learned how to use raccoon sign language from Jennifer Salamanini, one of the worst dart players on the circuit. Jennifer took a liking to the coons, but never completely trusted them. She attempted to make up a gibberish sign language so the coons could never effectively communicate with humans or children. This plan backfired. The coons took the gibberish and created a unique coon language that only they could understand. When the government found out about this new language, they attempted to contact Jennifer, only to find her dead with hundreds of raccoon hairs strewn about.
Number 6.
Raccoons have played a major role in shaping history as we know it. Historians long believed that during Shays' Rebellion, it was only farmers who revolted. Raccoons, however, were on the side of the farmers during the rebellion. Without farmers, raccoons have no source of old pig feet, their favorite snack. Because of this, their loyalty stayed with the farmers. They were able to sneak into the barracks of the enemies and steal their pigs' feet. As it turns out, the opposition had no use for the pigs' feet, and they weren't hindered in the slightest. Due to this, the rebellion quickly died.
Number 5.
Raccoons don't reproduce like most animals of the mammalian genus. Where most animals reproduce sexually, raccoons take reproduction into their own hands. To reproduce, raccoons take their grubby little paws and pluck feathers from the most boring of birds they can find. From here, they take the feathers and put them into a cup of sock water. The sock water absorbs the germs of the feathers. From here, the raccoons cry into the cup because they're so sad that there's about to be more raccoons on this cursed planet we call Earth. 7 years later, life is born.
Number 4.
Many people believe that raccoons are natural climbers. This is not the case, however. In order for raccoons to climb the way they do, they have to resort to pretty extreme measures. To climb, Raccoons have to use their mouths to melt plastics in the area. Since their internal mouth temperatures range from 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, it takes only seconds for the plastic to melt. While the plastic is still hot, raccoons rub it all over their hands, feet, and their little bellies. They use the melted plastic to get a grip as they climb trees, rocks, and the world's largest basket in Ohio.
Number 3.
Raccoons face much oppression in today's world. Raccoons are trapped and left to rot in small raccoon cells every single day. However, there are many advocates for raccoon rights, the most prominent being Winona Ryder. Winona took a strong interest to raccoons in the early 90s because of their mutual affinity for petty theft. She formed an association known as FART, which stands for Friends of All Raccoons and T. The group fights for the rights of raccoons by breaking down stereotypes that raccoons don't like eating that much garbage. They have made great strides to show that raccoons do, in fact, love eating loads and loads of human trash.
Number 2.
Between the early 50s and late 60s, there was a very popular TV show that revolved around children and raccoons brawling it out live. The show was called Raccoon Boom. The raccoon would fight the child to the death. The winner of the brawl would return home with the parent and be given permission to eat any and all trash and scraps left over from dinner that the mother would make. Good fun for the whole family.
Number 1.
Raccoons are big music buffs. They often form garage bands in the dens of foxes. Since raccoons don't have access to regular human instruments, they often have to make makeshift instruments. Some such instruments include white-tailed deer tails, frog eyes, goose beaks, and stacks of poker chips. The music always sounds terrible and they can't hold a beat, but those little fellers sure have soul. There's only been one raccoon band which has ever found success. They were signed by Ray Charles because he couldn't see that they were raccoons when he first heard them. Alrighty folks, that is going to do it for today. I sure hope you enjoyed this video because I sure hated making this one. I had to go out into the field and interact with a lot of raccoons. They ended up biting my fingers, they got a hold of my toes, my ankles quite a bit. One ended up taking a good chunk off of my right ear, and one ended up licking way up into my nostril. I don't know how deep he got, but I would say dangerously deep. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Make sure you comment, subscribe, hit that little bell icon. Anyways, remember what I always say, share with your family and friends because everybody loves Fwaf 10s. I'll see you in the next one, folks. Stay awesome.